right, for decades, Senator Elizabeth Warren claimed to be a Native American. From 1986 to 1995, she listed herself as a Native American in the directory of the Association of American Law Schools. She also identified as a Native American during her tenure as a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. And later, while teaching at Harvard Law School, she was described as the, quote, the only tenured minority woman. On multiple occasions, Senator Warren stated that her mother and father were forced to elope because of racism surrounding her mother's Native American lineage. She was featured in a Native American cookbook entitled Pow Wow Chow. As it turns out, according to a DNA test released by Senator Warren herself just yesterday, she is only approximately 1/64th or 1/1024th Native American. That's less than 0.1% Native American. According to the American Journal of Human Genetics, that would be less than the average white American living in the United States. And just to recap, Senator Warren claimed to be a Native American in her professional career and her political career, all for personal gain, then laughably tried to prove her detractors wrong by releasing a DNA test showing less than 0.1% Native American heritage. So what kind of fantasy world is she living in? Is this really the best the Democrats have to offer? And now even the mainstream media, while initially supporting her, they're now mocking Elizabeth Warren's DNA debacle. And Senator Warren, a leader among the left, the Democratic Party, and tonight she is turning into a national embarrassment along with that party. And this comes at the absolute worst time for Democrats. With just 3 weeks to go until the midterm elections, that's 3 weeks from today, the Democratic Party is in disarray all across the country, but especially in red states. Democratic candidates have been coached to avoid any divisive topics and basically to lie to you, the American people. They want you to believe that they're fair-minded moderates. They are lying. There are virtually no moderates left in the modern Democratic Party. Still, the left-wing Center for American Progress, John Podesta's group, advised that congressional hopefuls don't talk about immigration. Don't do it. Meanwhile, party leaders are begging Democrats to not to talk about plans to impeach the president. But some, like Maxine Waters, well, she's even admitting they're telling her not to talk about it, but she just can't help herself. Take a look.
I'm in this fight. Yeah. I'm in this fight, and I'm not going to move. And as you know, there's a difference in how some of our leadership talk about how we should handle all of this. They say, Maxine, please don't say impeachment anymore. And when they say that, I say impeachment, 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 impeachment.
Don't talk about impeachment, even though we really agree with it. Don't talk about immigration, even though we want open borders and eliminating ICE. In other words, lie to the American people. That's their strategy. Many other prominent Democrats are busy demonizing political differences now with what is now a hyper-partisan, divisive atmosphere with divisive rhetoric, including Senator Kamala Harris of California recently joking about killing President Trump and Vice President Pence. Is this a joke to you?
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Imagine conservatives saying that about any liberal. Many of the very same Democrats who vilify Republicans also refusing to condemn what we see with our own eyes, the mob rule, the violent protests occurring in some of America's major cities. And, of course, marching orders. If you see them, create a crowd, follow them into restaurants and gas stations and department stores. Tell them they're not wanted any place, anywhere, anymore. Unacceptable, but Democrats simply will not say so. And when it comes to the Me Too movement, Democrats claim to care about the treatment of women. Remember the Kavanaugh hearings? But when it's not politically expedient for them to do so, their silence is deafening. Take, for example, this disgusting new video from Trump-hating rapper T.I. featuring a Melania Trump lookalike tonight. Watch this.
Melania Trump did not go to Mar-a-Lago with the president this weekend, which has a lot of people wondering.
Remember the C word, the reaction, the left? Kind of quiet, too, when the C word is used against Ivanka Trump. That video gets far more graphic here. This is our First Lady who's representing our country with honor and dignity. But tonight we're asking the question, where are all of you feminists? Where's Dianne Feinstein? Where are the people on the left calling out T.I. for that disgraceful video? Where are the prominent Democrats constantly calling Republicans sexist? Hillary Clinton, Senator Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren. Where are you tonight? Only if President Trump tweets something about Stormy do you care. Which brings us to another glaring double standard in the Democratic Party. Top DNC official Keith Ellison now losing ground in his race to be the Minnesota Attorney General amid serious domestic abuse allegations by his ex-girlfriend, Karen Monahan. Watch this.
I didn't look up at him, and I shook my head. That's when he said, "Hey, I'm talking to you. You need to listen." And I was stunned. And that's when he grabbed my ankles and said, "You need to get the out. You need to get the out now." And he started grabbing my ankles, trying to pull me off the bed.
What happened after that?
He kept trying to pull me. I put my body weight. He didn't pull me off the bed. He was trying to drag me off the bed. And then he looked down, I guess, and knocked my flip-flop off I had flip-flop house shoes on, knocked it off my foot, and told me I better be the out of his house.
Where are all those Democrats that wanted the FBI investigation into Judge Kavanaugh? Why aren't Democrats demanding an investigation into him? Why are they so silent? Serious allegations, recent allegations. Do they not believe her? The same people that believed every outrageous allegation against Brett Kavanaugh with no due process, no presumption of innocence? How about a just FBI investigation? And why don't the same people call for it? New polls are showing Ellison tonight in a neck-and-neck race with Republican opponent Doug Wardlow. So while Democrats have been largely silent about the claims, voters are taking notice. In Missouri tonight, Democratic incumbent Senator Claire McCaskill. She's in a tight race against Republican challenger Josh Hawley, who's coming on very strong. She campaigns as a so-called moderate. She is anything but. She has been exposed for her far-left views in a series now of undercover videos from Project Veritas. Last night we showed you footage where her campaign staff was admitting McCaskill's support for widespread gun restrictions, including a ban on semi-automatic weapons. After getting exposed, what did she do? Lashes out, blaming her opponent, Josh Hawley, of fraudulently coordinating with Project Veritas. By the way, I questioned Project Veritas tonight. They told me exclusively that never happened. By the way, she has no evidence. Take a look.
It is startling that Josh Hawley would be part of fraudulently embedding somebody in my campaign. He's the Attorney General of the state of Missouri. He's supposed to be going after fraud, not participating in it. So there was nothing there. I've been very upfront about all my positions.
Sort of like her RV trip around the state in a private jet. Now, Project Veritas categorically denying that charge. So, too, tonight is Josh Hawley's campaign. And his campaign called this absurd. Josh, by the way, and Martha McSally will join us on this program tomorrow night. And tonight we have even more footage. This time, we have the campaign of Claire McCaskill, her staff, caught on tape admitting their political strategy. Lie to the voters. The people of Missouri pretend to be something you're not, a moderate. This is what we have been telling you all along. Take a look.
No, you were saying that you think she's more progressive than she lets on.
Yeah. I think so too. I think she's a lot more open-minded to like alternative like routes to things. But she can't be open about that.
Why not?
You know? Because she would completely isolate her, like the moderate Republicans.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like we have to lie to get elected.
Essentially.
Oopsie daisy. We reached out to McCaskill's campaign for comment. They didn't get back. This is similar to the same deception we showed you first last week with Tennessee Democrat candidate Phil Bredesen. His staffers caught on tape basically saying again their boss would never support Judge Kavanaugh, even though he's telling the voters of Tennessee something else just because he wants to get elected. But he'll do the right thing when he's elected. Take a look.
Because, I mean, he wouldn't really, right?
What?
Vote for Kavanaugh?
I don't think so.
But I was so confused because
I just can't believe that he would actually vote yes. Like, I have
he wouldn't. But he's saying he would. It's politics. Which I don't know if that makes it worse or better. No, it makes it better, but it's still.
But what's the, I don't understand what's to gain by saying yes.
Moderate Republicans.
Don't you want honest politicians? Because you have McCaskill and Bredesen's deception that's getting exposed, raising GOP star Martha McSally. Well, she's continuing to gain momentum in her important race in Arizona for the Senate there, following shocking comments from her Democratic opponent, Kristen Sinema. Back in 2010, Kristen Sinema actually called Arizona the meth lab of democracy. 2011, she called Arizonans crazy. Now she wants their votes. In 2003, even suggested, oh, it's okay for Americans to go fight for the Taliban. She also promoted events at Arizona State University with a lawyer who represented the blind sheikh. Yeah, that blind sheikh. She also organized an anti-war rally with self-described witches and invited them. And tonight, even more past comments are continuing to surface. In 2011, she's comparing again her state. She wants votes from Arizona to Lindsay Lohan. Take a look.
But, yeah, so all around the world, people know what's happening in Arizona, and not in a good way, right? We're not famous, like in a good way. We're kind of like in a Lindsay Lohan kind of famous way. Not good. So
at least her campaign responded. They're dismissing it as a desperate attack. No, it's called the truth. And last night during the debate, McSally called out Sinema over the disgusting remarks, and she didn't hold back. Let's take a look at this.
While we were in harm's way, she was protesting our troops in a pink tutu. And I'll tell you what, if these are not disqualifying enough, Kirsten, what came out last week, CNN reported that in 2003, while she was on the radio, you said it was okay for Americans to join the Taliban to fight against us. You said you had no problem
We're
with
running
that.
out of time, but we have to let you respond to that.
I want to ask right now whether you're going to apologize to the veterans and me for saying it's okay to commit treason.
We are running out of time, so we got to get a response.
Well, we need a response because she owes us an apology.
Well, Martha has chosen to run a campaign like the one you're seeing right now, where she's engaging in ridiculous attacks and smearing my campaign. And she's just trying to cut, and not share the full picture.
Checkmate, Martha McSally. This is your new Democratic Party I've been warning you about. Who do the people of Arizona, who do you want representing you? A war hero who supports the president, who put her life on the line for her country, or a radical left-wing activist who mocks the people of Arizona, her own state? It's pretty simple. You vote for a Democrat running for Senate, you're voting for Chuck Schumer. And I know Chuck Schumer. He happens to be my senator. I'm stuck here paying 10% state income taxes in New York. And in the House of Representatives, I don't care what district you're in. Remember, you vote for any Democrat, you're voting for Nancy Pelosi. And she is anything but a fair-minded moderate. She represents the very worst of the party of smears, slanders, lies, no due process, and, of course, no presumption of innocence. But that's only for Democrats, because for years she has been front and center carrying out the Democratic playbook. Republicans, racist, sexist, misogynist, xenophobic, homophobic, dirty air, water. They want to kill your children and throw your grandmother over the cliff. We're sick of these lies. In 3 weeks from today, 21 days, you vote for a Democrat, you stay home, you don't vote at all. This is what you are supporting. Take a very close look.
The latest Republican plan to gut essential health benefits and protections for pre-existing conditions will make it impossible for millions of Americans to afford the health coverage they desperately need. This is deadly. This is deadly.
Well, I want a single payer. I mean, I wanted I don't love a single payer, but we're not. In terms of the bonus that corporate America received versus the crumbs that they are giving to workers to kind of put the schmooze on is so pathetic. If you breathe air, drink water, eat food, take medicine, or in any other way interact with the courts, this is a very bad decision. So what? They're going to say if you give them bump stock, it's going to be a slippery slope? I certainly hope so. I say to the candidates, do whatever you have to do. Just win, baby.
3 weeks from tonight. And as we will reveal 10 more of the House races that will decide the fate of the country, here we go. If you're in North Carolina, 2nd Congressional District, GOP incumbent George Holding in a fierce battle with Democrat Linda Coleman. In North Carolina 9, Democrat Dan McCready has a big-time cash advantage, but conservative Republican Mark Harris has a very slight edge. He needs your help. North Carolina 13, Republican Ted Budd has a slim lead against activist, left-winger, Democrat Kathy Manning. New Hampshire, the 1st District, Democrat Chris Pappas favored over Republican, a former police chief, Eddie Edwards. It could go either way. I'm with the police chief tonight. In New Jersey, 2nd, GOP candidate Seth Grossman in an extremely tough race against Democrat Jeff Van Drew. Yes, New Jersey matters. In their 3rd district, GOP Representative Tom MacArthur running against former Obama national security official Andy Kim. Recent poll had MacArthur up by only 2 points. In New Jersey 7, Republican Leonard Lance in a crucial clash with another former Obama official, Tom Malinowski. In New Jersey 11, GOP candidate Jay Weber facing Democrat Mikey Sherrill. She leads Weber by 4 in a recent poll. Pennsylvania 1, Republican incumbent Brian Fitzpatrick up against Democrat Scott Wallace. Finally, we have Pennsylvania 5, where Republican Pearl Kim has her hands full against Democrat Mary Scallon. And the Dems may take this one if Republicans don't get out with voting with a sense of urgency. This is it. 3 weeks from tonight, you'll tune in for results.